Hey lads, it's Mad Hatter, and it's been a while, but Zero to Hero is officially back. I know. It's been like 3 months since I said I would be back. I also haven't uploaded in like 2 to 3 weeks. It's because school started, everything started. So, yeah, we're back to full daily uploads. Though Zero to Hero should be something that happens either every day or every other day, depending on the support for it. But for those who don't know what I'm talking about, Zero to Hero is a series in which I start on a completely fresh account and we essentially play through every bit of the game. I'll be clearing from World 1 all the way to World 16. Any new world that gets released, I'll be clearing up to it. We're going to be trying to 100% story. It really depends on the support that the series has. If it has a lot of support, I'm going to be 100%ing every bit of content, and I'm going to be uploading all the footage needed for it. So you can pretty much, if you start, you can just follow along, and you're going to have every single step of the game possible. Every single team option I'm going to explain. I'm going to discuss team building heavily throughout. We're going to talk about how we're going to plan into transitioning from the early game to the mid game, how we're going to clear through story, what are we going to use our gems for, how we're going to make the most out of our resources. And so, yeah, we're pretty much going to be doing all of that. So let's just get straight into it. This is during, I believe, the Beth update, which should be pretty good. And I will not be rerolling, just to show that you don't need to reroll in this game. You can literally just hop on, play, and you can make good progress. Rerolling can be really nice to start off with exactly what you want, especially if, you want to min-max. But even though we want to min-max, we want to play as efficiently as possible so you guys can learn the most. I'm not going to be rerolling purely to show you that you don't need to spend lots of time rerolling to get the best start, especially when you don't have the same banners around. Now, I'll be summoning for Beth here, which means my early game will be a lot better than yours. However, this doesn't mean that you can have a worse early game. What you start with essentially just dictates how good your early game is, and yeah, it can dictate how easily you transition into that mid game. But generally, you don't have to worry about it too much. You could start off with, a horrible banner week, and what you do then is just save your gems, join my community Discord, check out my banner reviews and stuff. You can also ask around in the official Discord, and just ask if the banners are good or not. Make sure you screenshot your roster, say how many, pulls you can do, and then just ask, right? It's really simple. You can ask in my comments too. I generally reply to most of them. If your question is poorly worded, I may not reply to it, not because I don't like you, but I may not reply to it because I can't answer your question without having to write 10 paragraphs based off of the situation you are. So if you're like, oh, I have 341 mileage, what character should I get? Right, I don't know that. I don't know what EXs you have, right? I don't even know what weapons you need. I don't know what characters you need. I don't know what your teams are. So those questions I won't be able to reply to. But yeah, here we're just going through the tutorial. It's very basic stuff that you can't skip it. Unfortunately and fortunately, because a lot of people don't pay attention into this game, they try to treat most of the gameplay as the typical story gameplay. Like a lot of games, story mode and everything else is just roadblocks. They're like, okay, you want to play the game? That's too bad. You're going to have to wait out and sit and just screw yourself over and just clear story for hours and hours before you can even play any bit of content. But GT isn't like that. It has a really good story, which I will be, obviously we're going to be going through it. So if you don't want to spoil anything for yourself, what I recommend is you can do two things, right? You can either, one, play as you're watching the video and just follow the steps step by step, and it'll be fun, right? You'll essentially be playing with someone along your side. I'll be talking a lot because it makes it entertaining and I feel like I'm having fun, and I hope you guys enjoy that part too. But the other way is going to be actually to either complete the part beforehand or watch the video beforehand, right? So you can do either one, whichever one you enjoy. And in fact, if you don't want to watch the full series, you can just skip to parts that are going to be beneficial for you. I'm not going to include timestamps unless there are very important parts. I just don't think there's a need for timestamps since most of my tips are going to be scattered throughout. Like, let's say, for example, we're doing polls and we get something really good. I'm going to be mentioning at that moment. I'm not going to be, making separate points for it. Most things will happen just as we go along. And tutorial combat, as you can see, is really easy. There's really nothing to worry about here. It's very difficult to die. I think it's borderline impossible because Captain Eva will just kill everything for you. If you come to the right here, you can get a cool little chest, which doesn't really matter, but we're not going to be going for it because it's like, what, I think 200 coins, maybe 2,000. So it's nothing important. You can skip most of the treasures. However, I'm going to tell you something here. If you don't save, I believe, the knights back there, they will die. So if you don't want them to die, please save them. It doesn't affect the gameplay really, but what it will do is make you feel like crap, okay? Because you'll go back and the game will be like, oh, there's like a thud sound or something, and then you'll just go back and they're dead on the ground. I found that out before while I was rerolling, and I still remember it to this day, because it was pretty heartbreaking. So do save them, please. You'll regret it. It just feels horrible as you're playing throughout the game, and then you remember that these two died because of you. But yeah, we're just going through the tutorial here. I do plan on a lot of things. I think we're going to pull for Beth so we have a solid story DPS. She will struggle once we get our other hyper carries that we're planning for, which are Claude, Yunha, Kamael. They don't really synergize with Beth as much because she's a melee character. But Beth is going to carry us all of early game. She's going to be completely wrecking story. She lowers a lot of the necessary requirements. Like, you can, if you have Beth plus EX and a solid healer behind her, it's very difficult to die in story because she's just so tanky and she does so much damage. You can just face check complete bosses and enemies, so you don't have to worry about that. She just does make things a lot easier, so that's what we're going to be pulling for. I think I'm going to be investing as much as I can possible, even though Beth is really good, but she has a spot in the mid game where she isn't good. Beth is super strong early game because she invalidates lots of difficult content that you may otherwise struggle with. If, you know, let's say, for example, you're horrible at dodging and you don't want to get better at dodging, which I don't recommend. You have to learn how to dodge at some point. But Beth really lessens those requirements because you can just sit on top of hordes of enemies, and as long as you're hitting them, you're constantly going to be regenerating a shield, and you're just going to be getting so tanky, right? Other characters can't do that. So what I will say, if you're at a time where Beth, you know, or other hyper carries aren't available, please just ask the Discord and you can get through story pretty far. Worlds 1 through 9 are completely like super easy. They're pieces of cake. I'd consider them like a tutorial portion of the game. So just play clear up to that point, then you'll get Future Princess for free, and you can run her alongside Craig and a healer or two, depending on, you know, what other heroes you have. You can check out my team building guides. I will cover team building in its entirety in a upcoming Zero to Hero part. So this series will be the go-to guide, right? This means that it will cover pretty much everything from, like, you know, from simple team building to constructing end game raids to having fully built teams, everything, expedition, everything you could possibly imagine, right? So yeah, just follow along here. This is a scripted fight. This means it doesn't matter how many projectiles you get hit by, you're gonna lose the fight anyway. So if you do get hit, like, yeah, it's guaranteed. So if you get hit, don't feel bad. It's not really your fault. You're meant to lose this fight. It's how the game progresses. However, it does hurt seeing them get hurt. Who would have guessed? But yeah, the story keeps on progressing on. I really recommend you enjoy it. It's a very good plot. There are also some parts where you'd rather, you know, not get spoiled, but like I genuinely recommend, like when when we are in world 9, that's personally where I'm gonna recommend at the end of world 9. I don't recommend you watch the start of world 10 until you've done the start of world 10 yourself. I know it sounds crazy, like why would anyone tell you to not watch their content, right? It sounds super crazy, but I don't want to spoil the stories for you at all, and 4200 gems is super nice. There will be times where, of course, you know, you don't have that reward available, but you don't have to worry about it. It's like 1 or 2 multis difference. It's really not that big, and if you choose to reroll, you don't have to worry about it because you're just gonna get what you want, right? Because that's the whole point of rerolling. And yeah, look at her. Little princess is so cute. This is incredible. Oh, these goblins. Sad days, sad days. Like, look at her crying. Like, if you ever think of quitting, just think of it. Do it for little princess. Oh yeah, and good news, guys. We are officially Kakao Games partners, right? That means there will be codes in every video. Not every video, because I don't get enough codes for that, but in most videos, right? Hopefully most videos. I believe I have like 8 more codes left that I haven't gotten out yet, so the next 8 uploads will all have a code. And yeah, it's 10 summon controllers, I think. So you're pretty much getting a free multi per code. And you can only claim one once per month, but it's a really nice, you get, what, a free 10 pool and maybe some mileage tickets. So it's cool. Oh, we're just gonna keep going here. But yeah, Game's been going really, really well. Odale is a new hero. She feels pretty good in PvP. The next patch, I'm going to cover it pretty soon. I just didn't cover it yet because there doesn't seem to be anything too crazy. Like, it's a full basic week, but it's nothing crazy for a basic week, right? There's no Yunha, there's no Future Knight. Future Knight is actually a pretty good priority pick. Like, she got buffed like a couple of patches ago where her basic defense resistance shred is 30%, which is really, really good in case you don't know, right? It used to be 20%. So she was overshadowed by Lan with a Quill. But now, even though she doesn't have a complete 4-chain, the team doesn't get 4-chain skills off, it's still really powerful because a 30% basic defense shred is super strong. Beth, I believe, also has a 30% dark resistance shred, but she just doesn't have specialized support. Like, Dark Melee runs national, not national, we like to call it rainbow here. In Genshin it's national, but you can pick any of the options here, it doesn't affect it much, but I do recommend you actually listen to the story. I'm not paying too much attention to it because I've gone through this like a dozen times at least. But yeah, Beth runs with Lilith, Lifeguard Yusei, and Ray. So as you can tell already by that, it's none of it specialized outside of Lilith. Lilith is going to be a core part of Dark Melee for, I believe, a long time. Because there's no way they're going to replace Lilith in any way before replacing Lifeguard Yusei or Ray. So she just needs 2 more specialized support units and she'll find a good spot in raids. It's just hard for her to compete because range raids has Claude, which is already insane, right? Crazy good DPS no matter what. It has Gun Ogma, right? Great party buff, works really well with the Dark team. And then it has First Corps Commander, who has crit party buff and Mark defense shred, so she can't be replaced. Lilith can't be replaced with her. So range Dark just has too much going for it that melee Dark doesn't. That's kind of why Beth struggles in that mid-game gap, because late game she's a monster, because you're gonna be wanting really good Coliseum comps to maximize your gem gains. Early game you want it too, but you can't really push for it too much early game, since your gear and resources are going to be investing towards a decent team that's going to be functioning for most content, so you can't really be bothered to specialize into arena. But once you're past that, you actually can. So mid game is where she will take a bit of a hitch, but you don't have to worry too much. It's really not that big of a deal. You can just transition into other characters. And yeah, here we go. Let's start pulling. We have 288 coffee. I probably should not have claimed too much. Let's see if there's anything in shop right now. Oh, we have Epic Hammer and Option Chain Stones. Okay. So we're actually going to have to really farm. Early game, this is a bit less worth it, but it's still always super good to have. This is super good any stage of the game. Some people might say for early game, you don't need it. I personally will say they're wrong, because you want to start stacking Option Change and Option Lock Stones as much as you possibly can early game, and you always buy these are super good to have. You're gonna overflow on them late game, I mean Legendary Awakening Stones, but that's because there's nothing really to spend them on unless you're building unnecessary heroes. However, early game they're a luxury. So let's begin. We're gonna start off with pulling on Beth's banner. We're gonna ignore Odile because she's PvP only. Priscilla is just trash, like nothing else. Chrome, I might pull for after Beth because Chrome is pretty good in expedition and mobbing content, but we have to go for Beth, right? So we just hope and pray that we get Beth, right? Because EX we can work towards mileaging, but if we can't get Beth, this is going to be really rough. That's a lot of rare characters, but sadly no Beth. So please just give me Beth, come on. No, damn it, come on, we're not getting a white box at all. Dude, no way we're getting shafted. This is gonna, oh, dude. Oh, please don't shaft. We might have to start off with nothing here, right? We do have the pity left, but if it's nothing, we are really in a dicey spot. Okay, yeah, this is guaranteed, so I'm not really surprised. Come on, if it's not Beth, we are in a really rough spot. There's no Beth here. There's Mariel, Ray, and Andras. Damn it. Oh, we are so screwed. We're actually so screwed. That's really disappointing. That's genuinely really disappointing. We could have gotten Mariel or Andras. Andras, it wouldn't be useful early game, but she would have scaled really well into the mid to end game, so it would have just been a nice pickup to have. Mariel would have been good. Oh, first pull. Okay, come on. 2. Okay, maybe our luck's turning around. I just hope it's not 2 predators. Predator? No, dude. Okay, we got shafted. Oh, we are so done for. This is a horrible start. Oh my god. This is just, I can't believe it, man. How is this even playable? This is genuinely just disgusting. This is a disgusting start. Oh, we get Ray and then Summer Lorraine EX. Yeah, no, this is, I can't imagine being a new player and getting that. Completely unviable trash. Ray isn't bad, but she just doesn't do anything right now. This is a pain in the arse. So both our pities just got wasted. We're gonna go for a third multi here, just so we can get the epic weapon mileage box, because maybe we can squeeze out something good from there. But yeah, no, we're just getting nothing. This is genuinely like disgusting. And we get, oh my god, why? Winling. Maybe if we actually had Winling, this wouldn't have been half bad, because we could have ran Winling Ray, which doesn't scale very well early game, but it would have been better than whatever crap we have now. But oh god, I might reroll off video if you guys want. What do you guys think? Right? So just let me know in the comments if I should reroll or not. Personally, I feel like I should, purely for the sake of efficiency and showing you the best way to progress. But I also kind of feel like I shouldn't, because to show you how to progress without getting lucky, right? But yeah, that will be it for the first part. It's mainly just to cover and tell you guys about how it's going to work. The next part should be out tomorrow, so it's going to be daily or every other day, depending on how much support the video gets. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this one. Make sure to join the community Discord. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe ever. Like, I will never tell you to do that anymore. Because if you enjoyed it, you should do it, right? You'll do it out of your own feelings. But yeah, I hope you all have a good one, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.